In this video, we compare this $5,000 all metal and carbon fibre radio-controlled drift car to a $500 radio-controlled Lamborghini drift car, a $50 mini radio-controlled drift car, all the way down to a $5 radio-controlled drift car. By the way, you can win this Traxxas radio-controlled drift car and all of these RC cars here behind me. The winner of this is also going to win all of these $10,000 worth of RC cars. Link down below in the description box, and more on that later. The $5 RC drift car comes in a soda can. It's supposed to get in there. Man, it's not even got enough power to drift. But what do you expect for $5? So we're going to work our way up all the way to the $5,000 RC drift car. But first, let's have a look at the $19 ones. I mean, looks-wise, 10 out of 10. Question is, will they go as good as they look? Underneath, it does look very toy-likey. Comes with a little battery and an ASBO charger. Boom, there we go, all charged up. So steering is all one way or all the other way, typical toy grade. Oh, it does do it. Wooden floor. He knows what's coming, he's gone. Actually, considering it's only on and off, it is relatively controllable. And I'm doing it one-handed, look. You can't complain for $19. In the packet also comes some coneage. So we've got professional track builder here.
Boom.
Another professional track builder here.
Let's get these down.
Oh yeah, look, we've got some more obstacles. How old are we?
What's wrong with us?
Hang on, I've got a quicker way, you ready? Boom! There's the professional racing circuit. Because the steering is fully on or fully off, it makes it very difficult to control on this little track.
Go to the big track. Yeah, big track.
Go. And after a little bit of practice and the bigger circuit, we get the hang of it. Look at that, they've all got RCs worth thousands, but they're playing with the $19 specials. But you don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun with RCs. You can have fun on any budget. Next up, $22 radio-controlled drift car. So this one's got a notable step up, it appears, to have fully proportional steering. Tyres are rubber, however, it does come with drift tyres. Oh, look at that, it's even got a tiny little disc brake. Well, fake obviously. Also comes with some stuff here that you can add onto the body. Man, that actually looks really cool. The battery cover's still toy grade. Can't see an on and off switch. By the looks of it, it's permanently on. Here we've got proportional steering, look. So that means you can steer a little bit and you can steer a lot. It's even got a digital steering trim. That's gutless. It's the slowest one yet. That was a bit of a shame. I had high hopes for this one. What about on the wooden floor? Oh, it does it on there. Oh, and I can do it one-handed because look, it's got a little thumb wheel on here. Oh, dude, a bit of practice on this one. This one's actually pretty nice for a cheapo. Next up, something a little bit different now, and the first of the rear-wheel drive drifters. Many people will say that four-wheel drives are not really drifters, they've got to be two-wheel drive. The $5,000 drifter is the best drifter that money can buy, and that is rear-wheel drive. So now, let's see if this one's any good. Whoa, got a bit of weight to this. Got a metal body. This one here is $42. We look underneath, we can see double wishbone suspension, coilovers, and an accessory pack. So we've got a few bits of trim here that we can put on the body. Boom! I reckon we've got to build a little drift track in here. Oh, the professionalism. This looks quite similar to the little green MX-5 or whatever it was called before. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. But it's got a gyro, so that's going to make it hopefully easy to drift. We've got all the same buttons on here as we have on MX-5. I think you guys in America call it a Miata or Miata or whatever, but here in Europe we call it an MX-5. But anyway, these buttons are different things. One of them makes it go faster, another one gives it more drift angle, so let's let it rip. Here we go. It drifts, and it's quite difficult to control, but here we have a gyro gain. The higher you put the gain, the more it's going to correct itself. I'm doing this one-handed as well. No practice yet. Oh, look at that. Actually really good. How can it be so cheap? Yes, get the hang of it now. Let's chuck you on the tripod and I'll try it two-handed. Guys, this is so good. How can it be so cheap? You have to get one. There's a link down below in the description box. I'm gonna put a link down below to all the cars that you see in this video. Next up, the $50 radio controlled drift car. We've done a video on this one before, so we're not gonna go too much into it, but it's pretty much the same as this one here. So Robbie over there has printed some coneage to make our little track a little bit better. Check this out, you press button C. How can they be so good for the money? So we're gonna try and do a tandem drift. This has gotta be some of the most fun I've ever had with an indoor RC car. How can they be so cheap, yet so good? RC bowling. Bobby's go. We've got to 3D print some actual Skittles and do RC bowling. Next challenge. Who can get the most cones out of the square? Oh, one.
Kevin's turn.
Oh! All of them but one. Next challenge.
Slide in and stop.
No.
Kevin's turn. Oh, he's done it!
Boom! Next up, let's have a look at the first of the full-size radio-controlled drifters, the Werewolf. Now this one here is $250 and some of you guys are going to say it's not a drifter because it's got rubber tyres and it's four-wheel drive. But it does come with drift tyres in the box, so it will drift. It will just be more of a four-wheel drift as opposed to a rear-wheel drive drifter that will just be a rear-wheel drift. And when you take a four-wheel drive drifter to a drifting club, then they will sometimes moan at you. Anyway, we've got body clips on the back. On the front, it hasn't. So how does that... Oh, clips in. And, oh, we've got all this lot in here, a load of wiring here, so it's going to have headlights and tail lights. It comes with a brushless motor. Here's the four-wheel drive shaft, double wishbone suspension, front and rear, coilover shocks. Here I've got a 3S LiPo that should fit in there perfectly. So steering travel is way less than one of these two-wheel drive drifters. If we look at this one here, for example, look how far that turns. When we go over to that, it's even further. It's got a gyro, so look at that. The front wheels are automatically correcting as the back end's going to slide out. Put the lights on. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Channel 4 button turns the lights on and off. There we've got the tail lights. Give it a whirl. Here we go. Whoa, it's a bit lively. I think we're going to need more space. Yeah, definitely need more space. What's it like on wooden floor? Really slidey. Oh, definitely could do more space though. Oh, look, here's Gingy's stunt double. Oh, I thought you were supposed to be the stunt double. No, he's out of there as well. Bye-bye. Here we are back on the Isle of Man Drifting Club, and this is definitely better on the bigger surface. Compared to the two-wheel drive cars though, it's a lot faster and not really ideal to club drifting. And the track's a little bit small for it because it's so fast. So I think this would really shine on a big open car parking lot somewhere.
Take it all out.
Next up, we have the $330 Traxxas radio-controlled drift car. This one here is the first of the full-size rear-wheel drive drift cars, which many would say is the only true drifter. A lot of people would argue and say that four-wheel drive is not actually drifting. It has to be rear-wheel drive. This one here, rear-wheel drive. I've recently done a full video on this car here before, so I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. I'm going to put a link in the description box down below if you want to see the full video. Quite a lot of steering angle, what the drifting boys like. However, it does get a lot better as we get more expensive. Overall construction is all plastic. As we get to the more expensive ones, you'll see that the materials get a lot more flashy. And just wait until you see the $5,000 one. This is on another level. What is going on here? So here's a few clips of it in action. Remember, if you want to see the full video, there's a link to that down below in the description box. Also in the description box is a link to where you can win this Traxxas RC car along with $10,000 worth of other RC cars. Winner takes all. Next up, and the first of the professional full-size radio-controlled drift cars, the Lamborghini. I've gone over this car in great detail in the previous video. Just have a quick recap. So like all professional radio-controlled drift cars, this one here is rear-wheel drive. You'll see that all the professional cars have got really soft suspension, lots of steering angle, and it only gets better as we move up to the more expensive cars that we can have a look at later. Anyway, I'm going to give you a couple of clips of this car in action, and then we'll move up to the $1,000 radio-controlled drift car. This one here is ready to run, so let's rip. I've done a full video on this car before, so I'm going to show you a couple of clips, and if you want to see the full video, I'm going to put a link to that down below in the description box. So all the cars we looked at so far, including this MST Lamborghini, all come ready to run. So now we're going to go to even higher grade professional competition ones. We're going to go on to the DC-10. And this one, we have to build it. Oh look, carbon fibre chassis, more carbon fibre, also lots of plastic. So it's going to be interesting to see what this $5,000 drift car is going to be like with all the full metal and carbon fibre. I'm really interested to see if it's worth spending $5,000 over a $1,000 one. Next up we have the diff, and I've got all the parts here. You can have two options. You can run a geared diff or a spool. A spool, the diff's locked together. If we look at the Lambo, for example, the rear axle locked together. But then if we have a look at the $5,000 RC car, the rear diff is open. Look, you can turn these wheels independently. It says in the book, locked diff for low grip surfaces. So locked diff it is. Boom! There we go, one locked up diff. Next up, transmission. Next up, we've got to assemble the shock absorbers. Boom! Next up, we've got to fit the electronics, and then we're almost ready to rip. Man, the old drifting people do like pretty stuff. It's enough waffle, let's get it fitted. Boom! Speed controller on the back, motor in there, batteries in, servos in, gyros in. Next up, wheel and tyres, and I've got these competition ones here from ASBO-RC. ASBO also do a lot of the really high-end stuff like this, so for drifting, ASBO's your place. Boom! Next up, body. Oh man, look at the detail of that. They really make some nice bodies, killer body. Boom, here we are on location. Is the Pro Drifter going to be any good? Here we go, first drive of the DC-10.
Have you even touched it?
No.
Follow the instructions.
Yeah, it's pretty much what the kit says.
It's going well.
That's so easy. How is it so easy?
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Yeah, boy.
This is so far by far the best one. Better than all the ready to runs. This car drives so good. I can't see the $5,000 one being any better, but we will see very soon.
Oh, Kevin's a pro.
Next up, we're going to try some tandem drifting. The idea is to drift around the bend side by side as close as possible without hitting each other. So I think the idea is that the lead car goes around the outside as wide as possible, and the car behind has to try and follow. And then when you go around and bend the opposite way, you kind of got to cross over. It's actually more difficult than it looks, but a lot of fun.
Not yours.
Harris's. So what's your car, Harris? Same as mine, isn't it?
Same as yours, one.
So Associated DC10, exactly the same. Just different body on it.
Nice.
Best drifter I've ever had to go on. Here we got Scott's car. How much did your one cost?
About 1,800.
What is this?
This is the module for it, so I can change everything on the fly. So you got your throttle, so I can change all the throttle
Where's all the gauges that we saw a minute ago?
on your live.
So as you're doing the throttle, is that here?
Yeah.
I'm showing the RPM live.
Yeah.
Do these go up and down?
Yeah, they do.
And you built all that yourself?
Yep. You want to have a look inside?
Oh, you got them body clips?
Yeah.
What make is that?
This is the Como YD2.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And what is that? Is that this?
That's that, yeah.
Very nice, dude.
So everything it's all fully upgraded, as you can see.
Next up, the $5,000 radio-controlled drift car, the Overdose Glam. Is it Glam? Glam? I don't know. Give me a comment down below. But anyway, this is the absolute pinnacle when it comes to radio-controlled drifting. The body is painted by Vivian Grobler. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but he is regarded as one of the world's best radio-controlled car body painters. On most other RC cars, this here would all be stickers, but this is all painted on. All these tiny little things that look like stickers, they're all painted on by hand. Just look at that level of detail. Light buckets, intercooler. It's got all these attachments here. Wider wheel arches. Some other kind of drifting trim. I'm not really an expert when it comes to drifting, so you guys can correct me in the comments. Exhaust pipes, window nets, roll cage. This is an actual roll cage. It's not just painted on. The body is held on with magnets. Just look at this thing. That is on another level. So the Overdose comes as a kit for $440. That's if you can even get hold of one. And it looks pretty similar to the car we looked at before. It's got carbon fibre chassis and a lot of plastic parts. And then this thing is fully decked out with all the upgrades. If you go through here, there's absolutely pages and pages and pages of upgrades. It just doesn't stop. Look at that. And almost all of it is sold out. All the way up to page 8. And this car has almost all of them. It's got a rear motor conversion, the split chassis conversion so you can adjust the wheelbase. Look at the arms. The amount of adjustment and detail on this thing is absolutely insane. The more closely you look at it, the more things you can see that you can adjust. Just look at the rear shocks, for example. It's got this little helper spring at the top that changes the spring rate progressively. And when you push it down, it starts off really soft. And then the last little bit gets really hard. Now, it's very difficult to get hold of these upgrades. And they normally come out with a limited number of batches. And it would take years and years and years to put together a fully decked out Overdose. But I've got one here. It's got the top of the range AccuVant motor and speed controller, which are known in the RC drifting industry of being the ultimate, the pinnacle. You can't get better. We've got an AccuVant, I don't know what that is, some sort of a power boost box. KO Propose gyro, KO servo. I wish you could feel this, but KO make the smoothest servos possible. I mean, this is like a Swiss watch. Look how easy it moves, and it's silent. And just look at the steering lock. That is the best we've seen yet. It's almost 90 degrees. And then that is all coupled up with a competition Sanwa radio. So there we go, the ultimate best in bling and radio control drifting. You cannot get better. So the moment you've all been waiting for, let's take it out for a spin. And I really, really, really do not want to harm this beautiful body. This is what happened last time we had a beautiful body. Oh man, how cool does this Formula 1 car look? Run away, run away!
Modified, I think he's... Oh shit, what's going on?
Oh! We got no control of it, it's got a mind of its own! Oh look, little bits everywhere, look!
Look, bits everywhere, look.
Oh no, look! Oh no. Decapitation! Really don't want to harm the body. We've got quite a few people out there. Hopefully they're going to stay out of the way.
Are you nervous?
I wouldn't. Scott's not allowed to use it on here.
I wouldn't either. Come on, Kevy, you got this. Come on, Kevy.
I really have to try my best not to hurt this beautiful body. Oh my God, guys, this is so good. It's like on a whole other level. I did not think you could get much better than the Associated, but this just tops the scales. It's got more power, it's got more control, it's got more steering angle. It's got a special differential on it that unlocks and locks itself when it needs to. So we're going to show you that in a minute after this run. Man, this car is definitely, without a doubt, the best we've had on the video so far. But is it $5,000 better? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. So Robbie just pointed out that this has actually got a really special trick differential in there with some funky internals. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. And also my final verdict, which ones I recommend. But first, I want to tell you about this brand new Traxxas and Armour mega bundle. There's over $10,000 worth of RC cars here, and one of you guys is going to win all of them. Tickets are just £5. That is around about $6 or $7, and I will ship all of this lot to the winner anywhere in the world for free. Alternatively, the winner can choose a $14,000 cash alternative that'll pay straight into your bank account. The reason that the cash alternative is worth more than the cars is that it's going to probably cost me $2 or $3 and all the bother of trying to ship it. So I'm hoping that the winner is actually going to take the cash, and then I also get to keep all these epic RC cars. There's lots of debate online. What is better, Traxxas or Armour? It's a difficult one, but now you don't have to choose because the winner gets all of them. All of the best Traxxas and Armour cars that you can get, all in one big mega bundle. Let's quickly show you what there is. You get my favourite RC car of them all, the brand new Traxxas X-Max 8S. Also a Traxxas XRT, which is pretty much the same as the X-Max. It's just a lot lower down. Some people prefer the stability, some people prefer all the clumsiness and stuntability of the X-Max. Winner also gets to Armour Infraction, the most fun that I've ever had with an on-road RC car. A couple of brushless Groms, Traxxas Max Slash, Traxxas Max, Traxxas TRX4M. This is the mini TRX4. The winner also gets the full-size TRX4. The Traxxas drift car that you saw in the video earlier. Armour Centon, one of the toughest bashers that you can get. The Armour Kraton 8S EXP. It's about the same size as the XRT. Many people prefer that. Other people prefer that. Winner gets both. And also all of this lot here. So Traxxas UDR, Armour Mojave 4S, the Kraton 6S EXB. This is the special one with the aluminium bulkheads. The brand new Armour Notorious 6S and the Armour Vortex. I think I've covered them all. If I've missed any out, check the link down below in the description box. But the winner is going to win all of this lot, and the winner could be you. So check the link down below in the description box, and this lot here could all become yours. Robert, the winner of the last mega bundle, he actually chose a $10,000 cash alternative, but this one here is even bigger. And for those of you that don't want to buy a ticket, I've got a Traxxas X-Max AS here, and one of you guys is going to win that for free. So link down below to that too. Anyway, enough waffle. I just want to tell you about this special differential. So apparently this has got a special differential in it. We've had to come in here because we've got normal music in there and we're going to get copyrighted, so we've come out here. On the diff, it feels like an open diff, so I thought, well, a drifter wants it really tight, really. But, what are you saying?
It is a limited slip diff.
So how does it work?
To explain it, there's the diff. When it goes together, these some springs that go inside. There's loads of planetary gears, and the springs clock into the gears, and then the faster you go, the tighter the diff gets.
And it locks up?
Yeah.
So is that what you're showing there?
That is it, very clever.
So at the moment it looks like a normal planetary diff. So you get the pins in there, more planetaries in there, spacery things, more planetaries, another gear.
And here comes the springs. Springs are going to come after this. You ready? There they go.
Yeah, well, and that somehow it locks up, does it?
Yeah, and as they accelerate, the springs connect.
Well, and the pinnacle. It didn't harm the body.
Oh, the body is done by
Vivian.
Vivian, and Vivian only does very limited amount of bodies every year. He's a busy man, but he's very well known in the drift world, and they are like gold dust to get. I mean, and you've seen the quality of that body.
Everyone in there said, do not run it on the track. Everyone was telling me off.
They are like a body to keep forever.
I literally only ran it for the video, otherwise I wouldn't have ran it. It would have been a shelf queen. So Robbie just found a little post online. What did you find, dude?
Vivian put up on it saying the Red Bull 86 is probably one of the best creations to date.
So you think that's the best one he's done?
Yeah.
And we've got it there?
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad we didn't harm it.
Exactly, dude.
Vivian, if you're watching, look, it's still perfect. All right, here we go. Final verdict. So the cheap $5 one, nah, I mean for $5, what do you expect? Not a drifter at all though. Next up, the $19 ones. For the price, you can't complain, but for spending a little bit more, I'll show you in a minute, don't bother. This one also, don't bother. I would jump straight into these two here. So this one here is about $40. This one here is $50. They're both the same make. They've both got the same chassis. Just this one here, it's got a metal chassis, and this one here's got a plastic chassis and pop-up headlights. This one here's got a little bit more performance, but it's a bit more twitchy, requires a little bit more skill to drive. I think this one here, because it's heavier, it kind of dulls it down a little bit. So, for the money, these are so good. If you enjoy drifting, you have to get these two cars here. Even if you're like a professional and you drive these ones, you're still going to have fun with one of these indoors. The Werewolf, the four-wheel drive, not really much good on the indoor carpet. It's too fast. It's four-wheel drive as well, and hardcore drifters are going to say four-wheel drive is not a drifter. So for outdoors and probably for doing a bit more speed, this one here is going to be the one to go. If you're going to go to an indoor drifting club, you definitely want a rear-wheel drive one. And the first of the rear-wheel drives, the Traxxas Drift. I would say if you're a beginner at drifting and you want a full-size drifter, this is the one that you should get. I mean, they're really easy to set up. If you watched the main video I did on this, there's an app on the controller and you can do the setup on there. Really easy to set it up, and it's really easy to get it dialed and get this thing handling how you want it to handle. And it's the cheapest one too that I've got here when it comes to the rear wheel drive ones. Next up, the MST Lamborghini. Also an epic car. It's a little bit more expensive than this one, and it's a lot more of a professional layout inside. Highly recommended. Next up, and almost the best drifter that I've ever driven, is the Associated DC-10, the one that we built. It's about £1,000 if you really want to get into drifting and you want to take it sort of half seriously and you want to have loads of options of setting it all up and changing things. This is going to be the one to get. Really cannot fault it. When it comes to the overdose, words cannot describe how good this car is. Just a level of detail looking at it, the body, all the upgrades. I mean, it drives so good. It drives so much better than all of these ones here. But for $5,000, is it worth it? I don't know, guys. Give me a comment down below in the description box. Which one would you recommend? And also, if I've missed any out, let me know in the comments down below. And there's going to be a link in the description box to all the cars that you saw in this video. Do you want to win one of my RC cars? Click here. Click Click here to subscribe and become part of the crew. It's free. Or click here to see one of my other videos.